Hi everyone, welcome back. I'm Dia, and today I'm sharing with you part 2 of my Orilium Magical Readathon reading vlogs. So this is going to encompass the last couple weeks of September, I believe. But I have finished a few things since I talked to you last already. So I do want to let you know what I've read, what I'm currently reading. I've got a blind box unopening, and then I'll talk about some things that are happening in the near future. So let's get into it. So this week is actually the Monaco Manga Club meeting, and I had to start reading the selections. And so I did read volume 1 of The Hitman Stands by Rintaro Oshima. This one is published by Yen Press, rated older teen. So this one is about a hitman who is actually a big fan of one of the female idols in an up-and-coming girl group. I feel like they're up-and-coming. They don't really say how long this girl group was performing, but it kind of feels like they're up-and-coming. And he falls hard for this one idol. He is at the concerts, and so much so that this idol knows him by name. And one day he decides, you know what, that's it. I'm gonna hang up my hat and just live a clean, upstanding life so that I can support this idol with clean money, because he feels like if he purchases her merch and stuff that with Hitman money, that is kind of soiled. So he doesn't want to do that, and so he kind of tries to completely change his lifestyle, and that doesn't really work. So I actually really enjoyed this one. I'm going to save a lot of my thoughts on it because I still do need to film my series first impressions video, but I will say that I gave this one 4 stars. I'm looking forward to continuing it, and I think if you've read The Geek X Hitman or Way of the House Husband, I think you'd really enjoy this one. They do have the same kind of feel, especially the Geek X Hitman is pretty close to some of the things that happen, because we're dealing with hitmen in both series who enjoy the idol experience. And so yeah, I really enjoyed this one. It was very entertaining, and so I'm looking forward to continuing that one. I gave that one 4 stars. We'll definitely be continuing with that one. And then last night I finished Tune Into the Midnight Heart. This one is by Masakuni Igarashi, published by Kodansha, rated older teen. So this one follows a guy who in middle school, at midnight, he would listen to this podcast. And because it was so late at night, he was kind of the only person who listened. And so he kind of formed this relationship with this voice on the line. And then one day, the podcast just stopped abruptly, and he's now in high school, and he kind of remembers something that he had said, and he's like, no, I've got to erase that off the face of this earth. And so he's on a mission to try to find the person who was producing the podcast. And he, like I said, is in high school, and this year the high school that he goes to was an all-boys school. Well, they're merging with the girls' school, so now they're going to have a co-ed school. And the girls' school actually has a group of 4 girls who are in the broadcasting club, and they make broadcasts over the PA system at the school. And when they make their first broadcast, he's like, wait a minute, she sounds familiar. And so he goes to the broadcasting office and finds out there's actually 4 girls in the broadcasting club. All of them have kind of the same aspirations as the girl that he was talking to in the podcast. And so he's kind of this might be my chance. One of them might be this person named Apollo. And so he kind of works his way into the broadcasting club and kind of makes himself their manager. So he kind of helps them with things. He's also a gopher, and he's also rich, but it kind of follows him and the girls kind of getting to know each other, and him kind of pushing them a little bit to really go towards their dreams of doing what they want to do. Like one of them wants to be a VTuber, one of them wants to sing, one of them wants to like be an actress or something. And I can't remember what the other one wants, but they all have to do with like occupations that have to do with their voice. And so it just kind of follows them getting to know each other in this first volume and things like that. I didn't enjoy this one as much. The male character, he is one of those guys that's like very over the top with his reactions. He's also one of those guys who thinks he's like 99% perfect. And it comes across in the way that he talks to people, the way he acts, and things like that. And I just didn't like him very much. Plus the fact that his reactions were so over the top. And I'm just not into that kind of character at my age. And so I don't know that I'm going to continue with this one. But I'll talk about it more when I do my series first impressions video. I did end up giving this one 3 stars. And so I did finish those. Those are our 2 first in a series selections. I do still have to read our series reads for the Monochrome Manga Club, and our meeting is this week. So definitely we'll be working on that tonight. I'm probably going to read Tokyo Revengers this evening. But in any case, I did also start another book. So I am working on my Orilium Magical Readathon prompts, and unfortunately, this one won't fit any of the prompts, but the Hitman stands I'm using for my random country generator, which like I told you in the previous video, I got lucky enough to get Japan as one of my selections, and so I went with it, and so the Hitman stands is going to fill that class for me. So another thing that I'm reading is another novel. I'm reading this one for the class that has read a book with romance in it. And I'm hoping there's romance in it. But I started Until the World Falls Down by Jordan Lynde. I believe this is going to have a sequel, but as of right now, Goodreads is not showing it as a first in a series. It's just looking like a standalone. But I've heard rumors that there might be a sequel coming. In any case, this one matches my theme for the month, which is Labyrinth. This is kind of a take on the Labyrinth story, a retelling, I guess, but it also is like part Beauty and the Beast, according to the summary. I read 6 chapters so far. So I read 3 chapters physically because I have an ebook copy, and then I listened to 3 chapters today during my lunch break. This one follows a woman who, at the beginning of this series, finds out that her boyfriend, who she thought was going to propose to her, has been cheating on her with her sister and ended up proposing to the sister. And so in light of that revelation, she ends up deciding to go to a club. And at the club, she meets a man and ends up hooking up with him and agreeing to something that she didn't really know what she was agreeing to, because he kind of asked her about it in the middle of sex. And so right now where I'm at, she's kind of working through that thing that she agreed to. And that has to do with getting through this guy's labyrinth. And so there's definitely a labyrinth connection there. There is kind of like a prologue at the beginning of this book where it's from the male character's perspective. And it's him kind of coming upon our main character in the club and his thoughts and things. And it definitely gave me like that masquerade ball kind of feel, even though we're in like a club. As the setting, the way that he kind of looks upon her and approaches her kind of reminded me of how the masquerade ball scene goes in Labyrinth, and that's one of my most favorite scenes from that movie. And if you know that scene, you know that the song that plays during that scene is As the World Falls Down. So you can definitely also get the reference Until the World Falls Down, As the World Falls Down, to the Labyrinth theme with this book. And so I thought immediately from the prologue that this is gonna tick off that box for me with the labyrinth references. I wasn't so sure, I will tell you, in the first 3 chapters, because basically the first chapter is her having that revelation about her boyfriend and her sister, and then the next 2 chapters is basically a 2-chapter sex scene. Then chapter 4 is another sex scene, and then her finding out what she agreed to, and then in chapter 5 or 6, she finally ends up trying to get through the labyrinth, or get to the labyrinth. I will tell you that I almost put this one down because I'm not one for a lot of smut in my stories. But I wanted to see like where this was going to go with the labyrinth. So I was kind of hoping the labyrinth part of the story was going to get to it sooner rather than later. And so where I am right now, she's definitely working her way through the labyrinth, or trying to get there at least. She's come across somebody who was in the labyrinth who kind of reminded me a little bit of like the helpful worm, you know, at the beginning of the movie. And there was also kind of a scene there where, you know, with the helpful worm, he's like, oh, you could go this way or you could go that way. And it looks like a wall, but it's not a wall, you know? So we definitely got that. At least I did. And so I'm looking forward to seeing if I can see more references or fit more like scenes from the story into the movie, because I do feel like this is the 3rd book now that I'm reading with the labyrinth theme. This one definitely feels like it's got the most that I can grasp onto as far as similarities, other than the fact that there's a lot of smut in it. So we'll see how this goes. I am enjoying it. I'm enjoying the narration. Some of the way that our male character talks, some of the phrasing that he uses definitely sounds a lot like some of the phrases Jareth would use. And so I'm liking that a lot as well. And some of the like things that he says, like there was a couple of particular scenes that definitely felt very similar to those scenes in Labyrinth where Jareth is kind of talking to Sarah and trying to get her to, you know, love him and stay with him and things like that. It definitely has that feel for me. So I'm actually very excited for this one. I'm hoping it doesn't let me down, because I do feel like this one for sure has the most Labyrinth references. So we'll see how this one goes. It is a chunker. It's 544 pages, I think. I have an ebook copy, like I said, and I do have the audiobook copy. So I will be combo reading this, hoping that it will go by a bit faster, because a book this size could take me a while. And since I've got like 8 things that I need to read for my classes, and this would only be the 4th book, I think, right? Because I read Winter Song, which was my single POV. I read Iron King, which is author's debut. I have The Hitman Stands for Random Country Generator, and now I've got this one. So I've still got 4 more things to read for my Orilium classes on top of the 4 that I've already read or am reading. And so, yeah, definitely still have a lot to read. So we'll see how this goes. But I am enjoying it so far, besides all of that smut. Like half of what I read was smut, which I'm not really into, but like I said, lots more that I can grasp with the Labyrinth theme. So I'm looking forward to seeing how the rest of her exploration through the Labyrinth goes. And she also has like 48 hours, I think, to get out of the Labyrinth. And so there's like a time limit on it as well. So it kind of gives that same feel. So yeah, I'll let you know more thoughts as I get through further in the book. But I'm not going to be able to like physically read that one until I'm done with the Monochrome Manga Club selections, because I need to read those in order to discuss them with our members. And so, yeah. Other than that, I did forget to open this blind box with you. I had won this blind box at round 1 a couple visits ago, and I thought, oh, I'll open it up during my vlog, and I just forgot. So I had played the Over the Edge game at the round 1, and it's very similar to the Funko Funkade, where it's a marble pusher and you can proc prizes to fall onto the game field and then play to win them. We were actually very lucky and we procced a grand prize and we were able to win it. So the grand prize was this Hello Kitty and Friends hanger. It's a figural bag clip. And so there's like Pochako, there's Hello Kitty, Kuromi, My Melody, Pom Pom Puddin', and Cinema Roll. And these are flocked. So it says exclusive flocked collection. And so I thought I'd open this with you and see who we got inside. So let's do that. Definitely not the same creamy sound that we got from my other blind boxes in my previous video. But I'm going to turn it to the side here so that I can't see what's inside. Oh, I feel bubble wrap. And so let's pull out the bubble wrap. And so there's just this big bubble wrap and I can see who's inside already. Oh my goodness. Definitely one that I really enjoyed when I was growing up. I would say this was probably the character I had the most merch of when I was in high school. And so we have Pochako. I don't know. I changed my lighting, so I feel like it's doing a bit of a better job as far as not making me look so washed out. But I don't know if you can see that it's flocked. So it's awfully cute. There is some weight to this. And it is like a turquoisey color. And so I'm very happy. Very, very happy with this. We were able to win a couple of other like figural bag keychains from the machine. They were like medium prizes, but they weren't flocked. They're just like bigger. So like I got a Tuxedo Sam. But yes, very happy with this. It's awfully cute. And so I don't know that there were any more of them in the Over the Edge when we went this last time. But they did have some Sumiko Gurashi blind boxes in the machine. And so maybe if they're still there the next time that I go, we'll try to play for one of those. Because I've been really, really enjoying Sumiko Gurashi characters lately. And they are a Sanrio character. I didn't know that. But they are part of the Sanrio company. And so, yeah. I'm really, really enjoying the plushes and the blind boxes and things. And so, yeah, that's pretty much all of the update that I have for you today. I do have some exciting things coming up over the next couple of weeks. So tomorrow, we're actually going to go see the Demon Slayer Infinity Castle movie for the second time. I forgot to include the clip of us going to see it the first time in the last vlog. But we're going again because I had some gift, well, not really gift. There were rewards dollars from the AMC theater that's by us. And then I also got my birthday popcorn and drink. So really going to see the movie again for the second time was only going to cost me $1.98. And so we decided that we would go see the Infinity Castle movie again. There is so much to see in that movie. It's a 2.5-hour movie. So I definitely need a few times to see it and like really be able to absorb everything that's going on. I have read the entirety of the Demon Slayer manga with the Monochrome Manga Club and really enjoyed it. And so I'm looking forward to seeing the movie again tomorrow. Daughter is coming with me. And then I've got some fun and exciting plans for next week. But I'm going to keep those under wraps for right now. And yeah, so the next thing that you're probably going to see is a clip of us at the theater. Probably just like a movie theater poster pan thing. Unless there's something else at the theater to see about that. But yeah, I think that's where I'm going to leave you for today. So I hope you're all having a good one. And I will catch you later. Hi everyone. I have come back to give you a little bit of a reading update, and we're going to do something special in this little segment. So I have only read a couple of things since I talked to you last. It was the Monochrome Manga Club meeting over the last week or so, and so I did have to read those selections. I already talked to you about the first in a series selections. So as far as our series reads go, I did finish Tokyo Revengers volumes 23 and 24 by Ken Wakui, published by 7 Seas, rated older teen. So this is a story about a guy named Takamichi. When we meet him at the beginning of this series, he's in his mid-20s. He's watching a newscast and sees that his middle school girlfriend was murdered by a gang he used to know way back when. And through a twist of events, he finds he's able to travel back into time, back to that time when he was in middle school. And he figures, well, let me see if I can change what's going to happen to my girlfriend in the future. So he starts kind of doing like the little changes here and there to try to change the outcome of the future. It's a lot more than that. We're dealing with gangs, there's lots of fighting. I've said before that the only thing you can really count on in these volumes is that there's going to be a lot of fighting and there's going to be character deaths. And that holds up throughout this series for me. I still really enjoy it. And obviously every time Takamichi goes back into the past to change things, and then seeing the outcomes of those things in the future is also very interesting. And so yeah, I enjoyed this volume and I'm looking forward to the next one. It says that we're going to be starting the final arc, and I think there's 4 more omnibus or something like that, so we're not like super close, but we're getting towards the end, and I'm excited, but I'm a little nervous because I'm not sure what to expect, but I'm in it for the ride. I really enjoyed talking about this with our manga club members, and I'm looking forward to the next volume. So I ended up giving this one 4 stars. And then as far as Haikyu, I was only able to read volume 31. I was supposed to read volumes 32 and 33 also, but work has been crazy. And so since this is a reread for me, I don't feel so bad because I already know what was going to happen. This one is by Haruichi Furudate, published by Viz, rated teen. So this one follows a group of high school boys in the boys volleyball club. They used to be at the top, and throughout the years they've kind of fallen through the ranks, and now this year with their group of incoming freshmen, they're going to try to make their way back to the top. So you follow this boys volleyball club, like getting their freshmen and learning how to work with each other and seeing like all of the things that the new freshmen can add to the team, and you watch them grow and grow and grow. It's such an inspiring story. Really, really enjoy this one. We've watched the anime adaptation several times. Just such a good, exciting story. I never thought I'd really be into sports like stories, but this one is really, really good. And there are a couple of other sports stories, sports manga that I really want to read more of because we enjoy their anime adaptations. But this one is probably the one that we've watched the most in my house. And so enjoyed this one. We're still in the Inarizaki game, but I believe daughter said that by the end of volume 33 we're done with the Inarizaki game and we're going to be starting the dumpster battle game, which is the end of season 4 and then the movie that we watched like 4 times in theaters, my daughter and I. So yes, really, really good. I gave this one 5 stars. I'm looking forward to reading volumes 32 and 33. But because I'm doing the Orilium Magical Readathon this month and volumes 32 and 33 will not help me complete any of my classes, I'm going to put that off. Because I do know what happens. It's just a reread. And if I've got to read extra volumes in October, so be it. But that's what I'm going to do, because I really, really need to finish my Orilium Magical Readathon prompts. And I've got some novels still slated for my classes, and I really, really need to get those done first. So that brings me back to what I am currently reading. So I am 26 chapters into Until the World Falls Down by Jordan Lynde. This is that labyrinth kind of Beauty and the Beast inspired story. I am enjoying it. I'm enjoying it quite a bit. At this point, I think it's going to be a 4-star. There are a couple of things that really bother me, like the fact that throughout, up until where I am in this story, our main character constantly thinks about her ex-boyfriend. You know, the one that cheated on her with her sister at the beginning of the book and decided to get engaged to her and not his actual girlfriend. Yeah, she keeps thinking about him, especially like when thinking about like romantic situations or during sex, and it's just not, no, I don't enjoy that, because it feels like she's not really at that point where she wants to let him go. It kind of comes off that way, even though she says that she's done with him. There are things that she does and things that she says when you're reading these passages through, that have her thoughts about him in it, that she's not. Even after everything he did to her, she still, I think, would take him back if he had said, you know, I'm really sorry, I made a mistake. And that's one thing I really don't enjoy about her character. And it's kind of been a thing with the labyrinth like inspired stories that I've read so far this month, that the main character kind of has low self-esteem, which I find interesting because I never thought Sarah had low self-esteem, the character from Labyrinth. I never thought her to be someone of low self-esteem. Yeah, she felt like her parents didn't care about her now that her baby brother was born and they were paying more attention to him and nobody was paying attention to her, but that's completely different from having low self-esteem or feeling undesirable or feeling unlovable. And I feel like our character in Until the World Falls Down and the character in Winter Song, they both had those feelings about each other, and I just kind of feel like that's not how I viewed Sarah. I don't know, maybe I'm missing something, but I never felt like she had low self-esteem. I always thought that she, you know, only had a little bit of an issue with the fact that, you know, her parents weren't paying attention to her. And that's different from feeling unlovable or undesirable. And so, yeah. Other than that, the story in Until the World Falls Down is really interesting. The labyrinth itself is not a labyrinth like you would see in the movie Labyrinth, or like think of as a thing to try to work through. In her like labyrinth, they're more like challenges, things that she needs to complete. She's not actually roaming around in like a maze. So it's a different take on a labyrinth, and for our character in this book, it's more like levels. So her kind of quest to get through the labyrinth, she's got different quests, and she seems to be having to help people, and every time she helps someone and that person is able to get out of the labyrinth, which I'll get back to in a little bit, she is able to move forward. And so that's another like interesting thing that we have in this story, is that there are other people in this labyrinth trying to get out, and she comes across them along her journey, and all of them seem to have like issues with romantic situations, which is interesting. And so I'm enjoying that. There are also a lot of like other characters, like we met a vampire, and there was a succubus character, so you get some other types of creatures as well in the labyrinth. And so yeah, so far really good. I'm enjoying it a lot. There's a few too many sex scenes for me, but it's okay. I kind of just skim through those. but I always see like her ex-boyfriend's name because she always names him when she's thinking about him. And so I see those as I'm skimming, and I'm just like, I don't enjoy those little things that she's constantly thinking about him, and like situations that she was in with him, or thinking about how he treated her before she found out that he was actually cheating on her and things like that. But I am enjoying like the world. I'm enjoying the different characters we get to meet. The whole labyrinth being like levels and not an actual maze is interesting. And watching her like help all these people is really good too. I really enjoy that. And so I'm looking forward to seeing where we're going to go, because I'm about 83% done with this book. So I'm almost there. And so I'm looking forward to seeing how this is all going to end up. So I should have that finished by the time I talk to you next. So as far as the reading update, that is all I have for you. I did wear my, I don't even know if I can stand up here in my new area, my Jareth shirt. This is the ballroom masquerade scene, which is one of my favorite scenes in the movie. And it's the scene where the song As the World Falls Down plays, which is kind of similar to the story or the title of this book, Until the World Falls Down. One other thing I'll mention about this book is that I definitely feel like every time our like Goblin King character or Jareth character kind of talks to our main character in this book, some of the things he says really kind of reminds me of that line in the Underground song in Labyrinth, where the line goes, "It's only forever, it's not long at all." When he talks to her about staying with him forever, that's the line that kind of always pops up in my head. So I'm really enjoying like the ties that I am being able to kind of put together with the movie that I enjoy so much. So definitely the best kind of Labyrinth inspired story I've read so far, at least this month. Actually, so far, because I don't think I've read another one that kind of made me feel like, okay, I can see where these like scenes or speeches or things are pulling inspiration from the movie. So I'm really, really enjoying that part. So, because I didn't have much to talk to you about as far as reading goes, I had my birthday yesterday. So we went out and had some Japanese curry. The restaurant that I have this particular Japanese curry is like 2 hours away from where I live. So it is one of those things where it's like it's got to be a special occasion. And so I had some Japanese curry. We did go to a bakery that specializes in kind of Hawaiian inspired flavors and dishes and things, and they are the only place I know of that I can get my rainbow cake. Again, a couple hours away from where I live, but rainbow cake is like my favorite thing to have when I go home to Hawaii. And if you watched any of my Hawaii vlogs, you probably have seen me pick up a rainbow cake, because I will pick up one as soon as we get in, and I will have that throughout my vacation. So I do have a rainbow cake now. So that was really nice. You probably saw clips of those things before this clip. But the other thing that I picked up for myself were some blind boxes. So I thought I'd open those with you right now. So you've seen a couple of these blind boxes already. So I got another Tato shark. So I had opened one of these in the last vlog. And then I had gotten the hammerhead. So I'm still looking for a couple of other these, maybe even all of them. They're really, really cute. So I thought I'd purchase another one for my birthday and see what I got. So let's see what we've got inside here. I'm going to turn it this way so I can't see inside. I'm pretty sure this one didn't have a card though, but just in case. Maybe the one that I had before just didn't have the card inside. So we've got our little bag here. Let me just find the notch. Okay, here's the notch. And we have it's a tiger shark. It's the tiger shark. So you can see the tiger lines in the back. And he's having a little snack. This one is called Tiger Shark Tato. So really, really happy with that. Got a new one for the collection. So that is awfully cute. So really happy with that one. And then I did pick up another one of these Romantic Ocean blind boxes. I just really, really want the Raby, or not the Raby. Yeah, the Raby or the Sharky. Those are kind of the two that I really want. There is a secret. I wouldn't mind the secret. But Raby or the Sharky, because I got the Inky the last time. So let's see what we've got. This one does have a character card. So I am going to turn it this way. And we're going to pull out the bag. And I'm just going to put that down there sideways. Okay, so here's our bag. And here's the notch. Let's see what we got. It is... Ooh. Their eyes is all like weird. Which one is this? Blob? No. No, yeah, it is blobby. It is blobby, but why are the eyes weird? Because it's not weird on the box. I wonder if I can move them. I can. There we go. So this is blobby. So I'll definitely need to be picking up a few more of these boxes because I still don't have my Raby or my shark. So really, really cute though. Now I've got two pink ones. Oh, but yeah, you can see it has a little face there. And then it's really soft. And then you've got the hard plastic face here. So I will be picking up more of these, but awfully cute, really, really nice. A little bit smaller than the Inky because the Inky had a little bit more body because of the octopus, but still very cute. So I've got that one. And then I went to Miniso because I was trying to find more of those Dreaming Ocean ones, but they don't have anymore. But what I did find were the Head in the Clouds Mickeys, and I've been looking for these for a while. These are so cute. So you've got a bunch of different like fluffy Mickeys, and I thought these were just adorable when I saw them, but I haven't been able to find any. We just happened to pop into Miniso, and I guess birthday luck, I was able to find not only one, but two. So I've got two. They were the last ones there. You can see this box is a little hamajang, but that's okay. It's what's inside the box that matters. So I'm really, really excited for this. I would love to have Thundercloud, which is a gray one, Leisure Rainbow, which is kind of a minty green one, or the Sunny Sky, which is a turquoise one. Obviously, the Secret is also really, really nice. Sunset Glow is really nice. But yeah, let's see what we got in our first box of the Head in the Clouds Mickeys. So it says includes exclusive scented piece, and it says vinyl plush pendant. So this one does have a pull tab. So we will pull. And I'm going to turn it this way because I believe there is a card inside. And we are going to pull this out. And so the bag looks like this. And the notch is here. So we're going to open the notch and pull out our first Mickey. It is the, what is it? Red Cloud. It is Red Cloud. So it's kind of multicolored, right? You can see it's got these hot pink. Well, it's kind of looking a little bit lighter on screen, but it's like hot pink in real life with the darker like orangey red color. And oh, it's got a little patch in there. You've got your hanging tab, and it's wearing a little pair of corduroy shorts. So cute, really, really good size. And so yeah, that is our first Mickey head in the clouds. So cute. I feel like there's a theme now. Like, I used to really love pink when I was little, but then, well, I will say that pink and turquoise have always been my favorite colors. Sometime when I was like in middle school, I dropped the pink and stuck with turquoise. And then throughout like middle school and high school, it's kind of evolved to turquoise and teal, which are kind of in the same family. But yes, maybe the universe is trying to tell me something with all of these little pink items. But they are awfully cute, and so I'm very, very happy with that one. But that's not all. I have one more. So let's see what we've got in this one. So pull tab here. And then again, I'm going to turn it this way and pull out the bag. And then, where's the notch? Here we go. Notch is here. And we've got Thundercloud. I think this is Thundercloud. I think it is. Yes. Yes, it is Thundercloud. So he is definitely like a silvery gray color. There is a little bit of dimension in his coloring, but I don't know that you can see it all that well on the computer because the tones aren't very like different. There's like a very silver gray, there's a white, and then there's a slightly darker gray, but it's very, very slight. Here's the pull tab, little ear patch, and the back. So definitely one that I would like. I'm hoping that I'll be able to get a couple more boxes eventually. It's kind of hit or miss with how Miniso gets their inventory, so I'll keep checking, but I'm very, very happy with this one, as well as my Red Cloud. And so, yes, aren't they cute? Oh, so cute. So I'm very, very happy with these. And I still have one more thing to share with you. So daughter and I were at Hot Topic because that's where I picked up the Romantic Ocean. And so she had purchased a couple of things and there was a buy one, get one 30 off. And so we needed to pick up something else. And so we found these little Demon Slayer macaroon, Kara macaroon figures. So she picked one up. So let's go ahead and open this and see who we've got. You've got all of the Hashira, 2 different Muichiros, 2 different... Oh, you don't have all of the Hashira. 2 different Muichiros and 2 different Mitsuris. Obanai, Sanemi, Rengoku, Nezuko, and Tanjiro that you could get. So let's see who we've got in here. I don't know that we're going to collect all of these, but we had seen them before, and they were on pre-order, so we decided to wait. This one has a little cardboard protector so that you can't like feel the bag and feel what's inside. But let's see what we've got. Pink. Oh, it's much smaller than I thought. It's Mitsuri. So this is a really hard plastic little Monifato. Not sure which Mitsuri this is because there are two different ones. Oh, this is Mitsuri Kanroji A. So awfully cute. I will not lie. I was kind of hoping for Morishita. But Mitsuri's good too. We're probably going to collect more of these, I think. I really would like to have a Morishita and a Rengoku if possible. So, yes, you'll probably see more of these eventually too. But that's pretty much all I have for you today. So, yeah, I've got a couple of big plans over the next couple days. Next couple days? Yeah, next couple days. So I think this reading vlog is going to be a bit long. Plus, I really want to try to finish all of my Orilium Magical Readathon classes. So I think I'm just going to go ahead and do that and have a long vlog for you. And so, yeah, the next time you see me, I should have finished my book Until the World Falls Down. And we should be doing some exciting things. So I can't wait to share that with you. So I'll leave you here with that. I hope you're all having a good one, and I will talk to you later. Hi everyone, so we are on a little vacation. So we are staying at the Clementine hotel. I think it's called a hotel. Basically this area kind of looks like an assisted living, kind of maybe an old folks community. It's kind of apartments. And so we have a wheelchair accessible apartment that we are staying in for the next few days. And this is my first time staying here. It's pretty close to Disneyland, which we're going to be spending a few days there. And so I wanted to share my room with you, and then obviously I will be taking you along with us as we tour the parks. It's all decked out in Halloween, and there's Halloween merch and Halloween foods, and so we want to try all of those things. So let me turn you around and we'll get started with a room tour. Okay, so we are standing at the door right now. As you can see, it is pretty dark. It is early evening, and there is no ceiling light in like the living room area, but you can see that we have a couch here and then a TV here as soon as we walk in, plus a nice little seating area. So if you go further into the room, this is the bedroom area, and this is a 1 king and sofa bed room. So this is our king bed. We've got 2 bedside lamps, and there are quite a few sockets and things. So you've got USB and regular plug. And then if you go this way, there's also telephone, USB, and regular plug. We've got a closet type area where we're gonna store our luggage and stuff, and then in here is the bathroom. And so we've got some artwork, the throne with the handles, because like I said, we are in an wheelchair accessible room. And then turn this way, sink and walk-in shower. So pretty spacious, this shower. And it does have amenities. So your shampoo, conditioner, shower gel, moisturizing body bar over there. So then if you turn back around, go out and to the right. I'm going to cut right here because my mom is in the view, but I will show you the kitchen. Okay, so the kitchen, we've got a full-size refrigerator, a kitchen sink with cabinets, and there is glassware and plates and things. We have a full stove, a toaster, and a microwave here. So really is like kind of staying in the villas when we stay at the Disneyland Resort. This was much cheaper at the time, and I couldn't use my points because it was all booked up. But we also have our coffee machine here with Royal Cup Rainforest Premium Select Coffee. 3 of those. We've got the decaf also. Got some Lipton tea bags, sugar, sweetener, and non-dairy creamer. So, all good. Okay, so that is the initial room tour. We just got in a few minutes ago, and so I wanted to make sure that we took that footage before we settled in. But on first glance, I'm pretty impressed. It's pretty cozy. We've got, you know, not as much light as we would usually have in, say, a normal, like, hotel, but I kind of like it dark. So I'm not too miffed about that. So I think we've got enough light between the kitchen and the 2 bedroom lights, and then, you know, the bathroom lights and stuff. There's actually one more bathroom light that I could have turned on, but that also activates the fan, and so it was really loud, and so I didn't turn it on. But we do have some extra light in the bathroom as well. So all in all, I'm pretty happy with these accommodations. If you go outside, it's really quiet. Like, it's not loud at all, and I think we're about half a mile away from Disneyland. So, what we're actually going to do right now is head over to the parks, have some dinner, just do some leisurely, probably shopping,
Because like I said, all of the Halloween merch and the Halloween food and all of that is out, so we definitely want to go and check some of that out. And then, yeah, we'll be here for 3 days, I think. So I hope you enjoy the ride, and I will check in with you later. Hi everyone, so it's the next day and we are at the DVC Lounge at Disneyland. So the lounge here is a little perk for people who have Disney Vacation Club, and it's just a little space of air conditioning just to relax, cool down. They also offer snacks. There are 2 Coca-Cola Freestyle machines here, and there is a little snack box. Chips, pretzels, Rice Krispie treats, little yummies. And so, yeah, we're trying to cool down a bit because it is scorching outside today. But since we were relaxing here, I thought I would catch you up on my reading. So I did finish Until the World Falls Down by Jordan Lynde. This was good. I enjoyed it a lot. It definitely had a lot of Labyrinth references that I could grasp. Just the tone of voice of the Goblin King character was very much like Jareth. Some of the things that he said and phrased were very much like Jareth, and so I appreciated that a lot. The common peaches fruit thing, which was also in Winter Song, and I don't think I had mentioned that to you, but peaches. And so, yeah, my 2 real complaints about this was what I had mentioned to you before. She constantly thought about her ex, and I did not like that at all, throughout the book. So that was not great for me, and it was a little too spicy. I think if you cut out 2 or 3 of the sex scenes, or made them fade to black instead of going through the entire scene, that book could probably be shaved down 100 pages. So this book is over 500 pages, and I think if there was some fade to black scenes instead of fully explicit scenes, then the book would be shorter. I think it would serve a better purpose, because I don't know, all of those scenes just kind of made it seem like they were in lust with each other and not in love. So yeah, in any case, it was still good. At the end of the book, it does say that their story will continue, but it says it's going to continue in 2025, and we're in the last months of the year, so I'm not sure if that's going to remain true, but I am interested in continuing their story. The Labyrinth portion was very interesting. Again, different things. The way the Labyrinth is constructed was different. The types of creatures that you can see in the Labyrinth also very varied, because we had succubus and vampires, and there were other creatures in the Labyrinth, and all types of people that she meets. And so it was really interesting. I enjoyed it a lot, and I think I'm going to give this one 4 stars. So since I finished that, I started, or I should say I continued, with Glazed Murder by Jessica Beck. This is the first book in the Donut Shop Mystery series, and this one is a cozy mystery. And I had mentioned to you before, it's about a woman who had divorced from her husband, who's kind of popular. He's in the entertainment business, and in her settlement she got a portion of money, and with that she bought the donut shop in her hometown and has been making donuts to fill her time and get that creative bug put to use because she's a real creative person. And one day, because she does go to her shop really early in the morning to start getting those donuts baked, she notices a dead body being dropped off in the front of her shop. And it turns out that the person that was left there was actually one of her regulars. And so she's really curious now to figure out what happened to him, because people are saying that, there's a lot more to him than you knew and things like that. And there's a little bit of a danger element, because why was he dropped off in front of her donut shop, that kind of thing. And so yeah, she's going to do a little bit of amateur sleuthing. Where I am right now, she has already started amateur sleuthing rather clumsily. I will say there are, certain things that I do and do not enjoy about amateur sleuths. And one of those things is that they're really obvious about the fact that they're trying to gather information. And of course, she fell into that pit hole because she's new to this, right? So I'll give her a pass on that. She's getting a little bit better. She's kind of gathering people around her that are really interested to help her out and things like that. And of course, you've got the law enforcement angle where they're stay out of it, you could get into real trouble. And of course, she doesn't listen. So I am I think on chapter 8 now. I just finished chapter 7 this morning. So far, so good. Lots of recipes, donut recipes. At the end of every chapter, there are recipes. And some of them sound really, really good. There was an apple fritter recipe, and she talks about making pumpkin donuts when she's in the book, and then there's a recipe for pumpkin donuts. And so I might have to try out some of these donuts. Now, most of the recipes that I've come across so far are fried donut recipes, and I've never made fried donuts, but I've made baked donuts before. And so I'm really curious now to see how to make donuts at home. Is it really that easy? I don't know. And I'm probably never gonna film it for you if I do try it. And so yeah, so far so good. So I think I have this book. I have for Orilium. I have a book with water on the cover, which I have picked out a manga for that, so I'll probably be able to read that when we're done with our vacation here, because I didn't bring it with me, and it's not available on a online platform. And then there's a book with an invisible illness, and for that one I'm not sure what I'm going to do, because I have kind of two options of things that I'm thinking about. One of them is The Kiss Quotient by Helen Huang, and I believe the character in that book has Asperger's. And then the other one I'm kind of teeter-tottering on is A Sign of Affection by Morishita. I believe that is a manga, and it is about a girl who is deaf. And so, depending on how much time I have, I may go for the manga. But I have 3 classes left to finish for my Orilium Magical Readathon. So I think all in all, I'll be able to finish it, regardless of whether I have to switch out a manga for one of the prompts or not. But yeah, so far, so good. So I am going to continue to enjoy the awesome air conditioning in the DVC lounge. I might have a coffee, because they have some coffee machines over there. And yeah, we're going to enjoy our rest of the day in the parks. So I hope you're all great, and I will check in with you later.
Hi everyone, so we are back from our little vacation and I have finished all of the books that I needed to read for the Orilium Autumn Equinox. So I just wanted to give you my thoughts on the last books that I finished for my classes. So I finished Glazed Murder by Jessica Beck. This is the first book in the Donut Shop Mystery Series. I actually really enjoyed this one. It's got its little issues that I have with cozy mysteries, with like the clunky investigation and things, but I do feel like she kind of got her bearings a little bit, polished her investigative skills, and she kind of recruits, well, not really recruits, but her friend and her like co-worker also kind of want to help out. So sometimes we get a little bit of a different angle of investigation from other characters as well. There are a couple of different law enforcement characters also from different like agencies. So it made it a little bit more interesting as far as the investigation goes. Now, the fact that she is a donut shop like owner and the fact that she makes donuts, there are a couple of things that bothered me about some of the things that were said. One of them is just like really nitpicky, and she was constantly referring to the fact that she had to go to bed early and wake up early to make donuts. And most people, I think, would just say that they would have to like go to bed early or wake up early to go to work. But she specifically says to make donuts. And it got a little bit irritating. I don't know why it got irritating, but it just bothered me every time she was like, oh yeah, I gotta get up early to make donuts. And I'm like, I mean, it's work, right? It's work. It's your job. It's how you make your living. But yeah, I just found it oddly kind of specific that she was constantly saying that she had to get up early to make donuts. That and the other thing that bothered me a lot about this story in itself was the fact that she makes donuts, but she's constantly making comments about body weight and how, if you eat too many, your waistline's gonna grow, or, you can't really eat too many donuts, and constantly making kind of references about how eating the donuts is not a really like good thing for your health. And I didn't like that. I just didn't like that. I mean, there are several what looks like delicious recipes after every chapter. So at the end of every chapter, there's a delicious recipe for some kind of donut. I think there's one actual like main dish recipe after one of the chapters, but everything else is like a donut or a pastry. And so the constant references about, you eat too many of these, your waistline's gonna grow, and just little like jabs at being overweight and things like that bothered me a lot. But other than that, everything else in this story I enjoyed. I'm kind of looking forward to like a Christmassy installment because I think that might be really fun. Her relationship with her best friend is also really nice to read about. Their banter is fun and interesting, and it's like really believable that they're like really good friends. They support each other, and the best friend was really like wanting to be supportive of the investigation and things like that. And seeing them both kind of do the investigation was fun also. And the like romance angle, because there's always one, right, wasn't too like cringy. I mean, you kind of always know going into a cozy mystery that there's going to be some kind of a romance. It usually is between our amateur sleuth and the law enforcement in town, but because there's different agencies involved in this particular one, even though you kind of know which way it's going to go, but he's not like the actual person that's in charge of the town's day-to-day. So it gives it a little bit of a fresher angle. He is still like invested in the fact that she's investigating and he doesn't like it. But at the same time, she's not like directly ignoring his like instruction to like stay out of it, because he's not actually like the town kind of law enforcement. And so yeah, I will say that the killer was a little bit obvious, but overall it was still a very enjoyable story, and I'm looking forward to the next one, and I'm glad that I finally checked out this series. So yeah, I think I might try to read more cozy mysteries as we get further into the end of the year, because like, you know, all of the holiday cozies and things, and we'll see how far the holiday installment is on this one, because I think it might be really fun. But it would be nice to have a holiday cozy on the docket for this holiday season. So I had 2 classes left. I had a class where we needed to read something with water on the cover, and so I decided to pick A Tropical Fish, Yearns for Snow, Volume 2. This one is by Makoto Hagino, published by Viz, rated teen. So this is a story about a girl who moves to a new school and joins the like aquarium club. There are only her and this other character here on the cover and that aquarium club, and it kind of just follows them getting to know each other and exploring like some feelings they're having. I thought this was a girls' love title. I've heard it's not, but the feels that I'm getting from even this volume feels like there could be more than just friendship feelings between the girls. So I don't know, but I'm enjoying the story. It's obviously a type of title that I really enjoy, because we're talking about aquariums and ocean creatures, and in the first volume you learned a little bit about different ocean creatures and things. In this one they're like doing a little show, and so yeah, lots of ocean creatures, and you can see on the cover here they're actually like in kind of like the aquarium, so like there's fish floating around and things like that, and even like the lilt of their hair kind of looks like they're in water. So that's what I'm using. I really like the environment of this one, and I think the girls, like just their interactions are really cute with each other, and so I'm looking forward to continuing with this one. I think we did read the first volume for the Monochrome Manga Club a few years back, and so I will try to link my first impressions video on this one up in the corner in the cards. So I'm going to give this one 4 stars. Really enjoyed it. Looking forward to continuing. And then the last class that I had was to read a title that included an invisible illness. And this is the one that I really struggled with, because I feel like a lot of the times with stories that encompass things like this, it has to be like contemporary. And you know, I don't really read a lot of contemporary. And so trying to find a title that would work for this for me was very difficult. I had planned on reading The Kiss Quotient by Helen Huang, but ultimately I decided that even though there's still a few more days left in the month, I wanted to finish this reading vlog today. And so I decided to go ahead and pick up volume 2 of A Sign of Affection by Sue Morishita. This one is published by Kodansha, rated older teen. So this one follows our female character here on the cover, and she is deaf. And she is of that age now where she is starting to like live more independently. So she's going to college, and as she's commuting to college on the train, somebody comes up to her asking for directions in English. And 1, she can't hear him. 2, she doesn't really understand English. And she can't really communicate to the person talking to her that she is unable to understand what he's saying, when a guy comes and kind of diffuses the situation for her. He gives the guy the instructions that he needs to get to where he wanted to go, and he kind of starts getting to know Yuki, who is the girl on the cover. And so we kind of follow Yuki and Itsuomi, who is the guy here on the cover, getting to know each other a little bit better. They're like friends and past like people that they grew up with and things like that, and a blossoming relationship between the two. We read the first volume for the Monochrome Manga Club, and I will tell you that I wasn't really impressed. And I think it was the way that I was reading what was on the page. The voice that I heard inside my head for Itsuomi sounded kind of pompous, maybe a little bit nonchalant, not really like he was interested in Yuki. But when I watched the anime, the tone of voice, how the line was delivered, those really helped me to see the dialogue in a different light. And it's just like a way that he like phrases his sentences. I think it doesn't come across very well on page for me, and that's kind of where the tone, I was kind of misunderstanding his intention, I guess. And so after watching the anime, I became more interested in continuing with this story. So we are collecting the 3-in-1 editions. I only read volume 2, so I still have volume 3, and this is volume 3 right here. But I really enjoyed the second volume. It does follow the anime very closely, and so I'm really looking forward to continuing with this one. I'm giving this one 4 stars also. So with that, all of my classes for the Orilium Autumn Equinox are done, and my 4th year of Master of Element Studies is also done. So I'm really happy with that. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with the Orilium Magical Readathon from here on out. I'm not sure if I want to pick another career or what I want to do with that, because as I've mentioned before, sometimes, I should say every semester, there is a prompt that makes me read something that I do not want to read, or I'm just not in the mood to read, or it's something that, you know, is meant to push you outside of your comfort zone. But with how much I have been struggling lately to just find things that are more than a 3-star, especially in novels, I don't think it's the best idea for me to be forcing myself to try to read things that I genuinely have no interest in. So we'll see what happens when the spring equinox comes around. But for now, I have finished my career. I finished all of my classes, and I'm really happy with what I've been able to accomplish over the last month. So to celebrate, I did pick up some blind boxes for me to open. So I've got 2 more blind boxes here. I was able to find another Ocean Baby box, and then I have another Romantic Ocean box. So I'm really excited to see what is in these boxes, and so I'm going to open them up with you again today. These are like figural head keychains, just to remind you, I do have the one that is on the cover. I opened it with you in the first reading vlog for the month of September. I'm still looking for the shark, the dolphin, or the seal. But those are the ones that I could get. And so out of 10, I have 1. So let's see what we've got. I've got the Ray, which is one that I really wanted, which was very lucky. And so I can't remember if this one has little cards, but I'm just going to pull out the bag here. And the bag looks like this. And let's see what we've got. Oh. 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 Is this the shark? Is it the shark? Look how cute. I think the shark is blue. No, is it the shark? It is the shark. So this is the Aowu shark. Another one that I really wanted. Look how adorable that is. Oh my goodness. Very cute. So cute. The face on these are just adorable. It's got a little fuzz. But yes, very cute. Very happy with this. And another one that I really, really wanted. So that is awesome. And then the last blind box, Romantic Ocean. These are larger figural keychain type. Like this one has the keychain ring up here. So it's nice and short and little. This one is a little bit longer and it's a lot bigger. So with this one, I opened an Inky with you, the first box I had, and the last box that I opened with you, I think is in this vlog, is a Blobby. So I'm still hoping for a Raby or a Sharky, but really all of them are awfully cute. So I know this one has a card, so I'm going to open it away from me. Such a creamy sounding box. Okay. And I am going to pull out the bag this way and put the box down here. So the bag looks like this. And let's see what we've got. Okay. Oh. Not one of the ones that I wanted, but I think this is the Krabby. Oh my goodness, look at that adorable pouty face. That is so cute. Is this? Yes, this is Crabbo. So look at that. Oh my goodness. So adorable. And it's coming across really orange on screen. But in real life, this is like a blue-red color. It is really, really nice. And so cute. So that is Krabby. I will tell you, I did purchase a couple more because they were on sale. So we'll have some more unboxings of these in future vlogs. But I am very, very happy with the ones that I've gotten. And so, yeah. Happy with my blind boxes, happy with my reads. I didn't really talk to you after we came back from the park or while we were at the park the last time because we kind of had really bad cast member interactions. It was the worst kind of customer service experiences that we've had at the parks all of the times that we've gone there. It just kind of put me out of the mood. I just didn't want to film anymore. Plus it was hot and just being treated really badly didn't make me want to film. But we had a good time. I enjoyed the ambiance of the park, seeing all the holiday merchandise, eating some of the delicious food, and of course riding the Haunted Mansion Holiday. We didn't get to ride everything we wanted to ride, but we will probably be going back before they turn over for Christmas. So I'm really excited for that. And overall, I had a really good time. The hotel, I was very, very happy with it. I will definitely consider staying there again. It was nice and quiet. The security was really nice and helpful. And I felt safe there. Yeah, couldn't ask for more. And it was a very, very reasonably priced stay. And so I'm very happy with that as well. If you haven't checked out the Clementine when you are in California to go to Disneyland, I definitely recommend it. They have a couple different layouts that you can choose from. And like I said, we had a king suite with a pull-out sofa. And so, yes, very, very happy with that. And overall, it's been a really, really nice last half of the month. And so with that, I am going to close out this video and say that I hope you all had an amazing time doing whatever you were doing at the end of September. Let me know down in the comments below if you have read any of the books that I have read, and if so, what did you think of them? But please no spoilers. And have you watched Labyrinth? We haven't watched Labyrinth yet, but I think we're going to do it before the end of the month. I was really, really happy with the theme that I chose this month. But there is one more book that I have heard about recently that is Labyrinth-like related that I would really like to check out. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to do that with October and some of the reads that I want to get through, spooky season type reads. But we'll see how that works out. And that is kind of my theme for the next reading vlog, is spooky themed reads. So if you have any suggestions for any spooky themed reads you think I should check out, let me know that down in the comments below. Again, let me know if you've watched Labyrinth and what you think of it. Have you read any of the books that I've read? Let me know down in the comments below. And also, if you have, what you thought of them. And if nothing else, and you'd just like to let me know that you were here, if you could leave me a ocean creature emoji down in the comments below, that would be greatly appreciated and would really help me out. That will do it for me today, so I hope you're all doing great. I hope you're all safe and healthy. And until next time, take care and smile always. Bye.